I'm here with Jane Schaefer and Dave Dupre, co-chairs for the Celebrate-Commemorate Memorial Day celebration, getting set for the 150th this year in Waterloo this weekend. And it's so exciting, guys. First of all, thanks for coming in. Appreciate you taking time out of what I'm sure is a really busy week for you. But the 150th, that's exciting. What's so special this year for the 150th?
Wow, 150 years. This is, I guess we're really going back to the roots from 1866 and trying to bring the entire community into this event, which has been building for the last 17 years. Very happy to have great partnerships with the American Legion, the VFW, the Library and Historical Society, many groups and organizations, and particularly all the residents of the village of Waterloo, including the school system. So we're involving many students in various aspects, cooperating, participating in a lot of different ways. Main way, on May 30th, we have approximately 90 high school students that will be decorating the graves of all the veterans in the cemeteries with roses, which follows what was done 150 years ago when General Murray and Henry Wells started Memorial Day, which was decorating the graves of the fallen soldiers from the Civil War.
So a lot of people, I think, get Memorial Day kind of confused or bunched in with Veterans Day. There is a difference. Veterans Day celebrates all veterans. Memorial Day is a day that we remember those that were lost or didn't come home.
Exactly. That's what I was referring to when Wells and Murray started Memorial Day. The Civil War soldiers that came back from the war, they all got together and decided that they needed to recognize all those that didn't come back from the war. So this is really about the fallen soldiers, but through the years, it's evolved to where, yes, all veterans are honored and recognized as well.
Well, it's certainly great to have the home of such a national holiday be right here. It's just another thing great about our Finger Lakes region, whether it's the wine or the history or just the lifestyle. We're certainly lucky and thankful for the effort that you guys put forth to make it such an event. So, Jane, I know we'll talk about events coming up this weekend, but talk a little bit about the overall effort that's involved in pulling this off year to year.
The overall effort is a culmination of one of the best committees I have ever been privileged to be a part of. And as you know, when you're in small communities, you're often tagged for a lot of different events. But this committee, probably 95% of this committee is the original committee. And each year we add a few more. There's approximately 50 committee members, and they know their job, they do it well, and they produce a class act in everything that they do.
Absolutely.
Yes, and I just can't say enough about the committee. And besides the committee, it's the community support that Dave spoke about, but also that of our sponsors. As a small business owner such as Dave and yourself, we know that we are daily tagged to support different events and programs, and each one is very important to that organization. But our small businesses only have so much resources to be able to give. And I am just so proud and pleased that our local region and community supports this event. Any proceeds or profits that are made are then distributed right back to the veterans organizations. And my father, Vern Sessler, had told me once that every good organization is a broke organization. Because you need to get out there and be public and constantly be in the community's eye in order to do well. So that's something we do. Whatever monies that we have, we use to support the community as well.
Great. Well, I know that so many people come from out of the area for this event, as well as residents of Seneca County and Geneva. More local folks come out to enjoy the weekend. The early weather forecast looks pretty good, summery, which is great. And what can people expect this weekend? I don't know if we want to run through like all the events starting, from start to finish.
You want to go back to May 5th?
Well, let's go
when we
with
started.
Yeah,
I mean, it's really crazy.
Yeah, it is a month-long celebration culminating with Memorial Day, which fortunately for us this year is the actual National Memorial Day is on Sunday.
Monday.
Or Monday, which is the actual holiday that's observed. So, because
Yes.
normally you guys will hold the remembrance ceremony on the official anniversary of Memorial Day, where nationally we always have it on Monday.
On
It's
the
observed.
last Monday of the month.
Right.
Waterloo has always consecutively since 1866 held it on May 30th. We've done such a great job of letting people know that Waterloo, New York is the official birthplace Memorial Day, that there are not residents but visitors that visit this area. On the National Memorial Day, only defined the National Memorial Day Museum open, but no other activities, because
Yeah.
we keep true to May 30th. But the original Memorial Day was May 5th. And as Dave alluded to, that was the day that we started the 150th commemoration celebration with the reenactment of the Memorial Day play at Fatzinger Hall, which is a beautiful facility that's been holding events all this month as well.
I was just downtown in my lunch hour today, and everything looks great. The banners are up, the flowers are blooming, and everything is all ready to go. So when someone comes into town and they want to take in the whole weekend, just kind of run through some of the highlights of the events that they can expect, because there sure is a ton of stuff planned throughout the whole weekend.
Well, one of the major pieces of this whole event is the Living History, which is centered at Oak Island, where we have many, many reenactors this year, including Abraham Lincoln and Theodore Roosevelt. And these reenactors that we have coming are really some of the best in the world. Sojourner Truth, General Grant and his wife, General Lee and his wife, Frederick Douglass. So there's just a tremendous amount. You could just come and spend all your time at Oak Island watching presentations and listening and experiencing that 1860s feel down there. But then if you go up Oak Street and head to the park, it's a completely different atmosphere.
Yeah, more vendors and crafts and
Arts and
fun
crafts
stuff.
vendors. The parade this year that Doris Wolf puts on, Doris and
Karen
Karen Gerlach and their committee is just going to be, I don't know how long that parade's going to go, Jane.
Is that Saturday morning?
It's Saturday morning.
At 11 a.m.
Okay, and that too, that is a real old time small town parade. I mean, it's to me that's probably the one that most of the kids are looking forward to, and it's something you don't want to miss. So many people get involved, and it's so I think on Monday morning is probably the definitive event, but the parade is also right up there.
Well, this is why we call it Celebrate-Commemorate, because the Friday, Saturday, Sunday is all the celebration, celebrating the many freedoms that we have. But then the celebration ends, and then Monday turns into a commemoration. So there's a parade on Monday, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, but it's a totally different atmosphere.
Sure.
You say Doris and Karen and their group, they invite everybody. The world is invited to be in the Saturday parade.
I think we have marching cows, pigs,
cows, goats, dogs.
Dogs.
We've got fire trucks. We've got reenactors. Lots of bands this year. A lot of music this year. The Hitmen are always a great attraction. People love them. They do a great performance. But then the parade is the Pied Piper effect. It brings everybody to the park, where we have approximately 100 arts and crafts vendors, and then everything branches off from there. The transportation modes, the horse and wagon rides, and the history tours. Sure. And this year the train's back.
The train is back. The Waterloo Rotary Club is sponsoring the Finger Lakes Railway, and they will do train tours at 1 and 3 on both days. And each train will have its own entertainment. On the 1 o'clock train, we have Tina Botter and Steve and Cindy Dupre doing music. And then on the 3 o'clock train, we have Theodore Roosevelt and also Mary Mischief, another musical duo that will be on. You were talking about what people could do Friday through the Monday. We're going to kick off on Friday night at Fatzinger Hall with the Henry C. Wells Award, which is a community award. And this year it's being given to
Ed and Laurel Callahan, who, boy, they're both retired now as a couple years ago. And I'll tell you, all of their spare time, they're just involved in more volunteerism than I had any idea.
Beautifying
So-
our community.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Speaking
Keeping
of
it
that,
clean.
we should recognize the Waterloo and Bloom Committee, who's been out there for the last week or two and planting the village, all the welcome signs, the
Geez,
cemeteries.
that committee's
the
been
hanging
around for a
baskets.
while now, too. It's been 15,
I think
20
it's about
years,
15
maybe?
years
Yeah,
that we've been in.
geez.
Yeah.
And you can see it this time of year when, as I mentioned earlier, driving through downtown, just all the blooms and it definitely has an impact. So
It's remarkable, and that's really a different group of people. And there's 30 or 40 volunteers there that that's what they just can't wait until you got to get past, I think, May 15th and the frost threat and everything. And
yeah.
then it's a mad dash to get everything done for Celebrate.
Well, it's looking great. And what about fireworks? I know that there's fireworks celebration. Is that Saturday night or Sunday night? Saturday night.
Saturday evening, weather permitting. Rain date is Sunday, but the fireworks are at 9:30. And we like to say a special thank you to Seneca Meadows IESI, who have been our major sponsor since the beginning. And they helped increase the budgets for a spectacular show again this year. Right after Friday night's Wells Award will be the illumination ceremony, which kicks off the Civil War Living History events. And that will be at the Civil War Memorial right there on, what is that
Locust Street.
Locust Street, right there by the locks. And that's a very moving commemoration that sets the tone going into our weekend. We think that's great. I also wanted to point out that this year's 5K race, Tribute to the Fallen, we had a date and a time change.
Okay.
So it is on Saturday evening at 6:30, and it takes off from the Waterloo Senior High School at the athletic complex. And we have a record number of pre-registered runners
Nice.
at this time, which is great.
So moving from a morning to an evening
Yes,
run.
and changing from a Sunday to a Saturday. Yes, so
That was
it's
one
a
of those
new route.
Growing pains. We had to actually move it because it was too congested
too
down
big.
by the park
Yeah.
Sure.
with that many runners. So
Mhm.
Doug Daffler and his crew have done a fantastic job with that.
Oh, yes, and we have to mention that Jack Sutliff and his committee for the last 16, 17 years did a wonderful job building up this event and with his course, and he just retired this past year. And thank you to Doug Daffler and his committee for stepping up, and it's a wonderful event. One of the highlights on Sunday is our antique, classic, and wood-bodied car show
Right.
on Main Street. The show's, scheduled to start at 11, but as Bev and Bob Good will tell you, they start lining up to register at 7:30 in the morning,
Yeah.
and then they're there till late afternoon. And what a sight that is. Now, even though Waterloo has changed its traffic pattern, the car show will still be the same as it always has. As Chief Marquardt told us, I begged, borrowed, and borrowed some more, about 500 traffic cones to keep everybody,
Right.
in their appropriate line, which leads us to the Waterloo Police Department, the New York State Troopers,
Sheriff's
the county
Department.
sheriffs, and the
And the
Waterloo
crew.
Village and the town DPWs for all their hard work in helping Waterloo look its best
Sure.
to welcome the visitors.
Everybody is involved. It's amazing. The guys have been out working so hard. And another event I just wanted to mention was the Reconciliation event, which is 3 p.m. Saturday afternoon at the Civil War Memorial. And that's, I think, where all those reenactors from the North and the South are going to come together and have a special ceremony.
Yeah, that's great. Well,
It's going to be great.
the recurring theme I keep hearing is all the volunteers that and organizations that come together to make this event so popular. And if you're looking for something to do this weekend, you got to head to Waterloo. And the nice thing is it doesn't matter what time you choose to come down. There's going to be stuff going on, so you can come down, park, you can walk, spend the day, plan on getting some lunch, and the full schedule of events on WaterlooNY.com and
Or Waterlooney.
Waterlooney.
We were
either
tagged.
way you want to say it. But thanks a lot for again taking the time this week to come in studio and fill us in on everything that's going on. And best of luck with another successful event for the 150th.
The 150th. And we appreciate your support as well and keeping our event prominent on the website and all the positive feedback is very, very much appreciated. Thank you, Jim.
Village of Waterloo has a great partnership with Finger Lakes One and working on our website, so we appreciate that. And just a quick shout out to the school, Susan
Yep.
Burgess and Chris McGuan and her students. Their involvement is just very exciting to everybody.
Absolutely.
Well, everybody have a great Memorial Day, and as I said, hop in the car, head down to Waterloo. You won't be disappointed. It's the 150th anniversary, or the sesquicentennial, I believe I said that right, Memorial Day celebration. Celebrate, commemorate in Waterloo.